Welcome to my channel ASP NET and SQL Academy. In this video, we are going to master the pivot function in SQL with the practical examples using real tables and results. Pivot in SQL helps convert raw data into columns for easier analysis and reporting, especially using aggregate functions like sum or count. Here is the basic syntax. First you prepare a subquery, then apply the pivot clause using your desired aggregate function. Let us begin with a basic example. We take rows for each salesperson's sales by month and turn months into columns using the pivot function. This gives a neat summary table. This is another example. In this example, we are counting the number of employees in each department using SQL Server's pivot feature. Here is our employees table. We have staff across HR, IT and finance departments. This query pivots the department column and uses count to calculate how many employees are in each department. Result is a clean summarized table showing counts per department, 2 in HR, 2 in IT and 2 in finance. Remember, pivot with count is great for turning grouped raw data into clear, readable columns, perfect for reports and dashboards. In this example, we are going to summarize product sales across regions using SQL Server's pivot with a sum. Here is the sales table. It contains sales records with the product names, regions and amount sold. This query pivots the region column and sums the sales amount showing total sales per product in each region. The result clearly shows product A sold rupees 500 in north and rupees 200 in east, while product C dominated in north and south. Using sum with pivot helps you quickly generate regional reports, dashboards or summaries without manual aggregation. Let us look at how to get student scores by subject using average function with SQL pivot. This is our scores table. It has student names, their subjects and the scores they achieved. This query pivots the subject column and calculates the average score for each subject per student. Now we get a neat table where each row is a student and columns show average scores in math, and English. This is a great way to create grade reports or compare subject-wise performance across students using SQL. In this example, we will analyze product quantities across multiple warehouses using the sum function with pivot. The inventory table contains products, their warehouse locations, and the quantity stored at each. Our query pivots the warehouse column and calculates the total quantity of each product per warehouse. The result is a clear view of where each item is stored. For example, pens are in W1 and W2 while erasers are in W2 and W3. This is a powerful way to visualize the stock across storage locations, perfect for dashboards and supply chain reports. Let us break down expenses by category and month using SQL pivot with the sum function. Here is our data. Each row represents an expense entry with a category, month, and amount spent. This SQL query pivots the month column and sums the amount per category for each column. The result gives you a clear comparison. For example, rent is rupees 800 in both months while food increased in February. This technique is extremely helpful for financial dashboards showing trends in spending over time by category. In this example, we will track how many tickets each agent resolved per day using SQL pivot with the count function. Our tickets table records the agent name, the date of resolution, and the ticket ID. Each entry represents a resolved ticket. The SQL query pivots the date field and counts how many tickets each agent closed on those days. The result is a summary table showing daily tickets resolutions per agent. For instance, John resolved 2 tickets on April 1st and 1 on April 2nd. This technique is ideal for tracking daily performance in customer support systems and visualizing it in dashboards. Let us look at salary trends using SQL pivot by job title and department. Here is our data set. It includes each employee's job title, department, and salary. We will use the average function to calculate the average salary for each job title across different departments. This result table gives a clear comparison. For example, developers earn more in IT than in HR, and analysts have entries in both IT and finance. Using pivot with the average is a great way to provide visual salary insights for management or HR systems. Now, let us analyze how sales have changed over the years for each product using SQL's pivot feature. Our sales table tracks sales amounts by product and year, a typical dataset for financial reporting. Now, we can directly compare sales of each product from 2022 to 2023. For instance, laptop sales increased from 50k to 60k. This structure is perfect for trend analysis, business reviews, or management reports. Pivot is great, but it doesn't handle dynamic column names easily. For such cases, dynamic SQL is better option. You have now mastered the pivot function in SQL with lots of examples. Try these in your projects and impress with your reporting skills.